So, hello and welcome back to a new episode of Aren't You Exhausted, the podcast. I am your host, Ashley, and I've been gone a minute. It's been 3 weeks, possibly a little bit more, since the last podcast aired, or was uploaded, rather. I know I've lost a few subscribers in the process, and I'm sorry about that. For those that left, though I do understand with the uncertainty if I was coming back or not. I did have some medical issues that needed attended to, and they're still for the most part unanswered, so my health is kind of in limbo right now. I'm hoping it's nothing serious, but it's still to be determined at the moment. I'm feeling better than I was, so I guess that is a plus. The medication that they have me on in the meantime is working. I have been sporadically watching both the girls, Amber and Chantal. I know Chantal, since I had been gone, has started numerous other ventures for her channel in hopes of kind of, I'm assuming, bypassing the payment issue of repaying her taxes back. Hopefully having things in Ella's name will help their money issues. It doesn't seem to be panning out as well as she'd hoped, because as of today, she did a live stream, which she swore against for the longest time, so I don't know what that means for her channel going forward, and a lot of people were saying that Sala must have been out away from the apartment for a while for her to want to pick up live streaming again. She must have been kind of bored and restless, which I understand to an extent. It has been a very restless experience being home, but also being sick. I was ready to get back to work. I was ready to get back to my old schedule of things and make some adjustments here and there for feeling under the weather. And Amber, I was surprised but not surprised at the, what is it, Strawberry Hill incident. Her hating on baked goods that were sent to her P.O. box from a fan, follower, subscriber that she really tore into and had a lot to say, which we know if things were to be changed up and somebody were to do that at a meet and greet where they would see her in person, she wouldn't act that way and talk how she did to them. And also, I think she's having some projections almost towards people sending her food items. It's as easy as donating the items, or you know what? Learning self-control. She's claiming to not have a binge eating disorder, just overeating, overindulging, etc. Why not freeze the items and have them on special occasions, have one slice versus the whole thing? I know self-control is not her strong suit, and maybe she feels that those items would be unsafe around her because she has no self-control, but then again, isn't that playing back into the binge eating disorder? And the fact that her therapist, psychologist, I don't know the difference between the two in her situation, in her bariatric situation, because this is her bariatric journey that we are getting bits and pieces of, and who knows what's true and not because of Amberlynn's past with kind of stretching the truth of diagnosis and information. Who's to say what is real and what's not? But it's highly unlikely that she was undiagnosed with a binge eating disorder within like 2 visits. And it's also highly unlikely that she was diagnosed within 2 visits. Like, it's unlikely there has to be a measure of habit, of a ritual with these things, and it's just not proving to be the case. I feel like they say something in passing to her, and she just kind of runs with that as, I was diagnosed or I was undiagnosed, or they don't feel I have this now, so I don't have it. And I feel like that's why she wanted so badly to have a meeting with her surgeon and her bariatric team in person so that she could play that narrative. Like, I don't have a binge eating disorder. She's still gaining weight. Like, something's not adding up still. And through her grocery hauls and what she eats that she shows us, because let's not for a minute sit there and think that she isn't eating behind the scenes. She's not having other meals behind the scenes that she's not showing us. She's not adding things or having second portions behind the scenes. She did not get to her weight eating the portion sizes that she shows us and the meals that she shows us. There's no way. There's no way that somebody can eat 1,500 to 1,600 calories and gain 15 pounds within, what was it, like a 3-month span, 2-month span, if that. There's just no way. I believe her sodium plays a lot into her weight fluctuation being so drastic. If her days are met with very processed, heavy sodium meals, of course her weight is going to fluctuate more upward, as opposed to days where she's eating low carb and, eating more on target. A lot of what she goes over in her vlogs are very contradictory, and I feel like a lot of the times it's played up for views. And I know she's kind of hurting when she's not doing the mukbangs or trolling her audience, as she says, but she's gotten to a point in her life where I think she's done so much damage to her reputation online that it's hard to turn back from. A lot of people are always going to look at the amount of misinformation and lies that she has put out there and been caught in, and they're not going to take her new information at face value. They're not just going to blindly trust her, the people that have been aware of her content and have watched her since, the Crystal era, or even the ones that have tuned in like Destiny era, or even Becky era at this point, because she's lied through each era and did things that are a little unsavory in each era. So who knows where that's going to lead in her channel's future. I see her trying to get further and further away from it, but then when we have stunts like the Strawberry Hill incident, where she kind of doubled down, and then when the company reached out to her, assumably the company reached out to her, I'm not sure why at that point. I think it was more she reached out to the company to possibly order things. I don't know that situation. It was a weird turnaround, but that company is not hurting from the publicity gained from Amberlynn's Strawberry Hill rant from a subscriber. They actually probably had an uptick in sales, which good for them. And I don't know Amberlynn's angle on that one. I don't know what she's trying to prove there, and I don't know what story she's fixing to tell when she comes back I know it's not going to be the soonest vlog because her vlogs are pre-recorded, and so we're getting older content versus stuff that's present. So it may be a few vlogs before we actually get the Strawberry Hill tell-all, unless she decides to voice over a portion and give her side of the story on what she did to fix that situation, I guess. With Chantal, we just have a cluster of things that are happening right now with her. She's trying to undergo a fitness journey. She's trying to help Sala's business. They're trying to run an ASMR channel where she's doing these odd skits with poorly drawn artwork associated with them. She's still doing the vlogs with Sala on the Sala and Chantal channel, as well as advertising Sala's gaming channel, which he doesn't really post frequently enough to be picked up by the algorithm. So all of the views and the subscribers that he has thus far are just being associated with Chantal and her controversy. So it's just people looking for things, honestly. And as far as the ASMR channel goes, she's just using something that's advertised over and over again on YouTube as like a way of garnering some kind of residual income by posting not copyright free, royalty free videos with royalty free ambient music or sound effects in the background on a loop, and people click on it. I mean, the YouTube is very flooded with that kind of content anyhow, so it's kind of hard to be picked up by the algorithm and earn any kind of income quickly. Maybe she'll get picked up by the algorithm and it'll work out for her to earn some kind of residual income without actually having to put effort into her content, but it's highly unlikely. And I don't see these skit ASMR videos going too far, even though it's not ASMR at all. She's using her regular, I like to call it customer service voice, but other people refer to it as her low BMI voice. And the character voices are a trip, but it's not great, and the stories are, they're something else, honestly. They're not like really well thought out, and they're more to kind of throw shade at people that she wants to rage about, but doesn't really want to put that out there anymore because she's trying to change her brand and her aesthetic. But as far as her main channel, we've gotten just mukbangs every once in a while, which is very counterintuitive to the health journey that she's trying to go on, eating these large portions, these family portions of food to herself and working out minimally. It was funny to watch her run along the beach and kind of do the Bowser run at the camera. That was hilarious. But her content's kind of wavering, and I don't think her viewers are gonna like keep up with it long term. I think it's gonna be a constant cycling of people coming to watch because it's different. And then once they find out how toxic she really is behind the scenes, I think it's going to fade out and she's going to just constantly be in this cycle of people coming and going. And I think the same for Amberlynn. Most times people get into the cycle with her because they don't really know her and they just see the comments in her comment sections on videos being very combative towards her, being very mean or very overbearing towards her. But a lot of these people have been around for a while watching her progress that she's yet to make. And it's exhausting. It gets on your nerves. It's like a friend that you're watching go through this journey and they constantly make the same mistakes and you just want to shake them and you can't because they're online and they're not actually your friend. But like, I don't know. At any rate, the girls are still, doing their things. They're still train wrecks. There's still content to be made from them, though few and far in between, because as of late their content's been kind of on the boring side, aside from Amberlynn Strawberry Hill incident and aside from Chantal live streaming again tonight. I mean, other than that, like, it's been kind of bland and slim pickings, and a lot of content creators that once covered them have moved on to other things or just stopped altogether. I know there's a lot going on right now in girl world as far as other avenues that people are covering. But in the meantime, that is all for tonight. I'm sorry that Liam did not join me tonight. He is live streaming at the moment on his Twitch channel, trying to get it back together since he has been kind of off with me during my health issues, in and out of the hospital, and helping care for things around the house while I've been recuperating and getting back in the swing of working. He should be joining me on this weekend's podcast, so if you guys want to tune in for that, that'd be great. I think we are going to record a little bit, and I think then we're going to go on live for a little while, just kind of have a meet and greet with everybody and kind of bounce things off everybody and kind of get back into the swing of things, so to speak. But yeah, we're going to go from there. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to my ramblings tonight. I'm sorry that it wasn't more in depth, that it wasn't longer and more explained on things, and that I'm just kind of everywhere. I'm still getting back into the swing of things, but I promise it will get better. We will have more to talk about, and we are probably going to bring other people in and talk about other subjects along with Girl World. So that's what I have planned. Fingers crossed, no more other health issues that spring up and keep me away for any period of time. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you Saturday. Bye.